Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday afternoon in Northern California. I was reading through Lamentations this morning and I ran across these verses in Lamentation 3, verses 22 through 25. It says, "Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. The Lord is good to those who hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." You know, it was interesting that Jeremiah was going through a difficult time. These verses kind of parallel his time of affliction. There was this inward turmoil with Jeremiah, and it pushed him towards despair. He would even say, "My soul is downcast." However, one thought crowded out all the hopelessness that threatened to overwhelm him, and that was, because of the Lord's great love, we're not consumed, and for his compassions never fail. Judah was down, but not out. God was punishing Judah for her sin, but did not reject her as his covenant people. The word for great love is hesed, which has the idea of a loyal love. God was sticking by the people that he had chosen. The covenant made with Israel in Deuteronomy 28 had not been undone. God had not forgotten that. In fact, God's loyal love can be seen in his faithfulness in carrying out the curses he had promised, while at the same time preserving a remnant of those who were yielded to him, whose hearts were turned toward him. The judgment itself was a witness to the fact that God had not abandoned his people, and I don't believe that God has abandoned us in this time. You see, God's compassions, this whole idea of him drawing us into his bosom and drawing us near to him, showed his gentle feeling of concern for those who belong to him, and we belong to the Lord. And so, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed. We may be pressed and tried and deal with difficulties, but we're not consumed. And that's because his compassions never fail. The Lord is a compassionate God towards his creation. He says they are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness, the faithfulness of the Lord. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion today, and because of that, I'm going to wait for him. I'm going to wait to see what God's going to do, how God's going to bring us through this time. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to seek his word, and I'm going to reach out to those that I love, and those that I have an opportunity to engage with. You see, the Lord is good to those who hope in him. And that's where our hope needs to be. To the one who seek after him, it's important that we understand that God is going to be there for us. So be encouraged. God is on his throne. Jesus is dwelling powerfully in the lives of believers, and the Holy Spirit is ever desirous of bringing wisdom and understanding and empowering through this time that we're going through. So my prayer for each and every one of you today is that you would trust in God, because the Lord's love is great, and his compassions never fail. So say to yourself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him. And so God bless you, and the Lord be with you today, and may the mercies of God overshadow anything that you may be going through.